Hit it. I got the munchies for your love. Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the talk think show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called African American didn't find his way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One, and we're here on a Saturday night, hot summer night. And today, with all the pandemonium that's going around, we're going to hear it from a person who's up close and personal in the field that we talk about it every day, this COVID-19 stuff. And I am of the thought pattern that if you really want to find out what's going on, you ask the people who work in it, who's next to it, who hands are in it, who will give you the real on what the fuck they seeing every day. So tonight, she's back. The princess from the Accomax. 30 years in the nursing field here in North America. She can tell you some stories because she's told me some. But she's going to share something with you tonight. Think about it. Lise, tell them.
Hey, Alito. Glad to be back. Glad to be, in your presence and being able to talk again and share again. Hope everybody is doing well and, riding this storm of craziness in the world. Being true warriors because this is crazy out here. I'm here doing my due. I won't say where, but y'all, a lot of people do know where I'm at, but I'm not going to say where I'm at. But I will tell you that what I do is, I take care of folks, and I've been taking care of folks for a very long time, and I've been in some of the best so-called, hospitals systems in the country. And Johns Hopkins, Stafford Johns Hopkins twice. I've been staff at Emory twice, staff at Washington Hospital System, just Florida Hospital, just a little everything. Okay, so um, very diverse experience, and then being able to the thing about being a nurse and having the ability to go different places and work multiple jobs at once. That's the other thing is that you just get a lot of different diverse experiences. And the generation that I learned from, the older baby boomers that taught us coming up, they weren't a joke. You know what I mean? And we had the mindset as young baby boomers to listen, to respect. We actually, valued our elders, whoever they were, diverse as they were, whether they were black, white, whatever, in between, whoever. Our elders that had to teach us as nurses or as professionals in this world, there was something that was ingrained in us that is lost to these next generations. It's like they don't get it. They don't get honor your father and mother, honor your ancestors. They don't get that whole concept, and it's sad that is, you cannot let that die. Okay, because that is how the nursing and medical profession has been destroyed and dismantled. It is a sham. It is a mess. People are worshiping Dr. Fauci. He's a friggin' lab rat. Okay? They worship him. And he's a friggin' Frankenstein lab rat. It is disgusting. And you know why that is? It's because we just don't know. We are so uninformed that we don't even know. And then the really sad thing is that most healthcare professionals don't even know. They don't even know science. They don't know science because our schools have produced a whole several generations of people who do not think at all. and they're physicians, and they're nurse practitioners, and they're nurses. They don't think. They just are robots who do. They don't even Google answers. They don't investigate. They don't research. They just do the same damn thing over and over again. And most times it's wrong.
So, what would you say? What impact does that have on the general population?
You guys are, you need to be informed, and you need to be very, very afraid and careful. Very, very afraid and careful. I will give you an example. I'll give you an example because these people, okay, so several years ago, there was a movement to kind of clear out the baby boomers out of healthcare anyway. The doctors and the nurses just get rid of everybody who is experienced. And the whole system of healthcare really hinged in the past upon nurses being gatekeepers because doctors they ethically do not care about lying. Because for the most part, medicine is a confidence game. It's fraudulent. They just lie until they actually get something right. I mean, that's how medicine has been built. They lie, they fake it until they actually fall upon something and it actually can be proven to be true and it's
Could you
right.
could you give
But
us?
in the meantime, they just it's like, okay, it's like my mother. My mother had a very, she had heart disease, bad heart disease, okay? And in the 80s, she was like, and I was working in that field, and she was like, they're just experimenting on me. They're just experimenting. They don't know what they're doing. And I said, yeah, mom, you're right. They really are experimenting on you. Because in the 80s, we really didn't know what we were doing with heart disease and heart surgery. It was at that time a total experimentation. And I told her, yeah, you're right, mom, but you need this experiment. Okay. I told her, yeah, you're right. And she said stuff like, why can't I take cod liverol or something and now they're pushing cod liverol and things like that. But she was like, why can't I, she would say things like that. But it was common sense Indian stuff, right? Why can't I take cod liverol? Damn, now they pushing it. Omega fatty acids. Who knew? Right? My well, my mom knew, right? So basically, uh it was an experiment. They didn't really know what they were doing. That's true. But in hearts and cardiology, they have learned. That's an area of medicine where there has been some growth and development, and they have learned from their experimentation of the 80s, and it has advanced since that point in time. We know things now on a cellular level that we didn't know then. However, let's talk about infectious disease.
Right.
Infectious disease is barbaric. Infectious disease hasn't grown at all in the past 30 years since the 1980s or whatever. It has not. It has not. It has not. Okay. That's why when people say I'm an infectious disease doctor, I laugh. Or I'm an expert. It's a joke because the profession is a joke. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know the first thing. When you're anybody who's worked in the hospital and it has any kind of experience knows that how they isolate things, how they it's contact isolation, and this is droplet, and that they change their going what things are and how they classify them and how they make the signs and what the rules are from month to month. They don't know. It is not an exact science at all. It's really not even a science. So if you're gonna make a buffoon out of anybody or be able to pull something over on anybody in this world, infectious disease is ripe for the taking because they don't know what they're doing and ain't nobody an expert.
So,
Cancer treatment has advanced. When I started in the 80s, they were radiating people and burning off all kinds of body parts because they didn't know what they were doing. I had a lady who was just a torso; her whole half of her body was burnt off. Okay, so they have grown by leaps and bounds. Now we have, thanks to a Negro Indian, we have proton therapy. Okay, we got all kinds of stuff. Okay, so we have made all kinds of advancements in cancer therapy. We have made advancements in ortho surgery. So there are areas of medicine where there are advances, But the other thing about you being able to protect yourself, even in these fields that they have made advancements, is have they made advancements where you're going to the hospital? Do you got the smart doctors or you got the dummies? Where are you going? Because that makes all the difference in your life and everything. You got to go to the right place with the right smart people, and you got to be very careful because there's a whole lot of dummies out there, and the smart ones are a rare thing indeed.
So is it possible that we're giving too much of what goes on with us? Is it that we're putting in that sector of our lives in the hands of other people instead of looking out for them more ourselves?
Well, it's hard for people people when it's hard for you to not want to go run somewhere when you can't friggin' breathe, right? You can't breathe. That's the problem. And the other thing is you can't breathe and people are telling you how people are dying, so you can't breathe, so you run to the hospital. So that's a natural thing to do. But the problem with what happens when you run to the hospital is this. First of all, who's at the hospital? You got a bunch of you're at your community hospital. It may be a big community hospital, but it's a community hospital full of local doctors who work out of their offices, who do not research, and who are collecting checks. They're not really thinking, they're just getting money. Okay. If you watch the daggone, what is it, Married to Medicine, they got doctors that's working round the friggin' clock. Doctors that are daggone, driving daggone, 4 or 5 hours to make more money all across Georgia, doing all kinds of outlandish things to pay for their big houses. Okay. What kind of good medicine are they performing like that? They are not. They are not. You cannot, if you're just trying to collect checks like that. You are not doing anything of real value if you're collecting checks on that level. So you have to understand. You have to know what you're dealing with. You got to know who you're dealing with. And if you're sick and you're put in the hospital, you ain't got no family to look out for you, and you're just stuck in. Who's looking out for all that? How will you even know? So that's the problem. So, and then once you get in the hospital with this daggone situation of this daggone COVID thing, everybody's using it as a big bad wolf. So it's big bad COVID. So what if they die because it's COVID? How are we gonna keep them alive? It's impossible. When the reality is that it's just a daggone pneumonia. Now pneumonia is not just a thing. A pneumonia is very complex and very hard. When someone gets really sick with a pneumonia, you have to be smart and you have to work hard to resolve the situation. No doubt about it. It takes smart people to fix pneumonia. But when you don't even recognize that this is a pneumonia and you acting like you have an excuse to lose, it
Okay.
becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay. Because first of all, the doctor's like, well, if I lose, it's just because of the COVID. And the nurses are like, well, I can't go in there because I can't be exposed to COVID. Or you want to talk to me? I can't spend time talking to you. You got the COVID. You want to eat? I can't feed you. I don't have time to feed you. You got the COVID.
So a person going into the because that's all I hear. That on every channel you go to, that COVID word is plastered to the screen.
Right.
That's all they talk about. That's all that's played on the radio.
Right. So
Constantly.
now these people are being tested even more. And Trump is telling the truth. The numbers, man, people were miles and miles long getting tested, okay? Miles and miles long of people get tested. More people you're gonna find they're gonna be positive. Are they gonna be sick? No. But are they gonna think they're gonna become sick? Can your mind make you sick? Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Okay. So the problem is that a lot of these people would have been okay at home, but some of them, because they came in the hospital, are dying because they came in the hospital.
Yeah.
And that is where the dying is occurring. It's not the freaking horribleness of the disease, it's the horrible mismanagement of the disease. Because they are using the CDC's and the daggone Fauci lies that, oh, this COVID has clots. The COVID don't cause clots. Where is the daggone pathophysiology that proves that shit. Why is this thing? What? It's got some kind of clotting mechanism, the damn organism? No. The reality is that they're not checking the person's internal blood gases. They're not looking at what their oxygen levels are on the inside of people's bodies. Okay, they're going by this little thing, this little metal piece they put on the people's fingertips, and it looks in your tissue and it says, "Oh, Lisa, you have 95% oxygen in your fingertip." Oh, okay, cool. In my capillary, I got 95% oxygen. What's circulating to supply my heart? What's circulating to supply my kidneys? What's circulating to supply my daggone liver with oxygen? What's that? What's that number? Well, that is a different number. That's called your arterial blood gas. Your arterial blood gas tells you what level of oxygen is circulating, what level of carbon dioxide, bicarb, all that that's circulating in your blood is in that daggone test. And when I have patients, what I used to do before I got nearly, undone out of my job because I was educating my patients, what I used to do and what I still do to a degree, but you know what I mean? I'm just whatever. This patient, I said to him, I said, look, you need to know certain things to survive here in the hospital. You need to prone. You need to lay on your belly because laying on your belly has been shown to improve the perfusion, the ability of the oxygen to go through your lungs and improve your lungs' ability to heal. Okay, just laying on your belly, it works.
Let me,
Your
can I jump in? I gotta say this. Dee Queen, this is what Dee Queen writes. The masks seem to be killing us by breathing in the carbon monoxide more than the actual disease. I see so many people exercising with masks on in the 100-degree weather on top of this humidity. Dee Queen, ain't that the craziest shit you've ever seen in your life? I see people jogging with masks on.
Yeah, well, now my nurse friend was like this morning, and we're getting ready to go to work, and he's like, "Well, the CDC says that my mask is not appropriate because I have a vent on the side, so I got to get rid of my mask." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, because air can come out of this mask." I said, "Oh, so you're not supposed to let air out?" I said, "You believe this?" I believe the CDC. Yes, I do. I said, "You believe that your mask is faulty because you're able to breathe out of it." What? You've got a plastic vent that you are breathing through, and you believe that plastic vent allowing your air to come out of it is a dangerous thing. Yes, I do. I believe the CDC. People are freaking crazy. He's a whole nurse that is dumb as shit. I'm sorry, he's a friend, but he's dumb as fuck. And that's the kind of people that you have that are taking care of you. They don't even have any kind of common sense, let alone scientific sense. There is a room. These people are given these daggone respirator masks at the hospital. And they're afraid to take their respirator mask home with the COVID. Okay? So they leave it in a room in a dirty ass paper bags. That is a room that keeps the hot blankets in. The room is like a freaking incubator. It is like a petri dish. So their masks, which are dirty, which they don't freaking clean, are in this room growing super bugs. But they're so stupid. I'm just looking at it like, you fucking idiots. Okay. You know what? One of their freaking people died this week. They're sitting around putting these things on their faces. I don't know what the hell's going on there. I said, if you have a mask, you should take that mask. You should clean it at work, wipe it down at work, put it in a plastic bag, seal it, bring it home and bleach the shit out of it, and then wear it back to work. Why would you want to leave it in the room, co-mingling with everybody else's germs and a hot petri dish room? What is wrong with y'all? But see, that's the thing. People do not even think anymore. They don't friggin' think. They don't friggin' think. And yeah, you're not supposed to breathe. That's what the CDC says. They don't want you to be able to breathe out. Don't breathe out. Don't breathe.
Do you think that's more of a psychological?
It's all of that. It's psychological and it's physical because you can't keep retaining the CO2. People are getting headaches. People are getting migraines. People are getting sick. Period. And not to mention, you breathing in your own nasty ass germs and your nasty own ass secretions are sitting up in there. And you know what is that? That you can't breathe that. It's like, why don't you just stick your hands in your dirty underwear? Why don't you just wear your stinking dirty underwear on your face? It's the same damn thing. It's the same damn thing. Why don't you just take your dirty underwear and wear it across your face? Wearing these dirty ass masks is the same damn thing. Probably worse because your mouth, has more germs than your vaginal secretions. Come on, people.
Damn.
Come on, people. Come on. Just think about it. Just think. Nobody even wants to think anymore. They want to just have somebody tell them something. Mr. Oh God, Fauci, just tell us what we should think. Oh, CDC, please tell us what we should know. So I'm sitting up there arguing. So I'm sitting up there. I teach my patient, right? I'm like, look, this is what you need to do. You need to prone, okay, and you need to go ahead and exercise with your set of spirometry. Blow out your lungs, exercise your lungs, and you need to ask for a ABG to be done on you every other day at least to check where your oxygen level is internally. You need to know that number because that's what's happening to people. The number inside ain't matching how people are acting. People can act normal and function for a long time with very low levels of circulating oxygen in their bloodstream.
So what is that again? Say that again so the audience can hear that.
It's an arterial blood gas. People should be calling the hospital and saying, I want to know what the numbers are from my mom's arterial blood gas. You should be demanding it, okay? You should be demanding that you know the number. And when it reaches a certain level, that means under 60, you should be saying, I want them intubated. I want something done. I want this to change. Fix it. Because this is what they're doing. They're letting people rock out with numbers that are freaking they would never have done before. Like if you just scroll back to last year this time. If some of the numbers that people are having, they would automatically be intubated. But now because it's COVID, it doesn't work. We tried intubating people, but it doesn't work. No, that's a fucking lie. That it wasn't that it didn't work, it's that they were blowing out their fucking lungs with too high pressures. It wasn't that it didn't work to intubate, it's that they were doing stupid shit, other kind of stupid shit. But they make excuses for why they don't have to do the right thing by you. They make lies up. Okay, let me tell you what happened to this patient. He wasn't that bad off, but I didn't want him to fucking die. Okay, so I gave him some ideas. I said, look, we're gonna look at that number. Now he was doing good. He said he was feeling better, but I was like, look, I want you to stay this way, right? So I taught him. I said, when you came in the hospital, this is what your arterial blood gas level was. It was 56. It should be like 90 or something like that. 90, 95, almost 100 or 100, right? It's actually acceptable for it to be 83, okay? And you're still that's considered normal, okay? So he was 56. He felt like shit. So I said, that's what you felt like shit. They put you on this little breathing thing in your nose apparatus, just a regular non-rebreather face mask. They put him on a face mask. His number jumped up to 110 within like 6 hours later of being in the hospital, right? Then they didn't check it again. And I could have been satisfied that it was 110 at the last check, but I know that the things that happen on the inside ain't necessarily what's happening on the outside ain't necessarily what's happening on the inside. So although his oxygen level on the monitor looked good, he felt better. I still was like, you need to check it. You need to get a check. Even though the last one said you were 110, you still need to check it again. And we checked it again, and I got in trouble I got in trouble. They don't want me asking for blood gases. The doctors fight and get angry. I got fired from taking care of a whole doctor's office full of patients that are in this hospital This whole that means that I'm telling you, this is like 6 doctors, patients I cannot take care of because I asked for a blood gas. How crazy is that? So anyway, fuck it. So basically, I asked for the blood gas. They got mad, but then I found somebody that was willing to do it. He got the blood gas done, and lo and behold, his number went from 110 and was back down to 58. So I said, "What now? What do we do?" He said, "Oh, we'll put him back on a non-rebreather because they had dropped him down to a different device." So we put him back on a 100% non-rebreather for like 24 hours. By the next day, we wanted to check it again. I had to beg another doctor, find somebody that would be willing to give me the order so that the respiratory therapist could draw this arterial blood gas. It comes from your artery. It's the blood that circulates to your artery and your arteries that supplies your whole body with oxygen. So when you don't have enough oxygen circulating to all your organs and your body parts, what's going to happen to your organs and your body parts? What's going to happen to your kidney if you don't have enough oxygen going to it? What's going to happen to your liver? Your liver is your clotting factory. It is the one that controls how thin your blood is and how thick your blood is. So when it gets fucked up, what happens? You drop clots all over your fucking body. But is anybody telling you that? Is Dr. Fauci telling the world that the liver is your clotting factory? No. Why? Because they don't want you to know nothing. They want you to think that COVID is a mysterious boogeyman that causes clots, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. They don't want you to know that internally people are suffocating, and that's what's killing their liver, and that's what's causing clots in your body. They don't want you to know. And they don't want me telling people that.
So it looks like a whole lot of Negroes.
No, it's not a lot of Negroes. That's the other thing. It's not many of us that I have seen. I mean, yeah, you hear about it. Yeah, somebody went to church and everybody caught the COVID. There was a funeral and everybody caught the COVID. Yeah, there are those stories, but it's not a lot of us. Mostly what you see are Dominicans, Cubans, Haitians, Jamaicans. They look like us, but they aren't us. They're dying in mass numbers.
Wow.
Yeah, mass numbers.
So is it a mental thing? How are they getting? They just going and just putting their lives in these doctors' hands, or how is that going?
Well, I mean, the thing about it is, okay, so a lot of these people that I'm seeing here are B blood types. I don't know if that's a correlation. I don't know what is the correlation. I don't know how these people are being inflicted with it, but I know that it's running through families. I know that, one sister got it, and then next thing you know, a brother, a cousin got it, and then an auntie, and then another brother. So it's like they're giving it amongst each other. How where's the point of where to start at? It's hard to determine that. But as far as how these people are dying, they're dying of neglect and of ignorance. That's what's happening. And once they get into the system, once they get in the hospital, and even my friend who is staunchly Democrat and disagrees with me on all points, when I told him about this whole thing about the whole oxygen starvation in the body, oh, he's totally in agreement of that. And when he sees how these doctors are not doing the right thing, let me tell you something. This doctor, okay, so I asked for a blood gas. This doctor went off on me. So you do not, I will not order any serial blood gas. I'm not ordering any blood gas. Where are you from? I don't care where you're from. You're a travel. What are you? I don't care what they did in New York. I don't care. Okay, he went off. He went to my boss. He said that he didn't want me taking care of none of their patients in that doctor's group of doctors. So that's like 6 or 7 doctors. That's like a ton of patients that I'm not allowed to take care of because he got mad because I asked for a blood gas for a few patients of mine. So
So
why
does that
why would he get so mad?
right?
Why is he so mad?
Right.
So then I wrote, well, he got a little bit mad because I did write a note and I said, asked him for a blood gas and no order was given. Patient hadn't had a blood gas since he was admitted. I mean, he might have been mad because of that. But you know what? That's the truth. And so then, fast forward later, a week after I did that, and had to go through all that and go to the chief nurse and do all kinds of shit, because they thinking I'm some kind of derelict or some shit. Oh, I don't know what the fuck. But anyway, I'm like, look, let me tell you something. When this comes to court, I'm gonna be the one that has done the right thing, okay? And I have a duty to my patients, okay? And my daggone experience and my daggone education has to be able to stand on its own, and I have to work to that level. I can't act like I'm a dummy. I can't play dumb and my resume don't look dumb. Okay, I can't do it because they will they will grill me for that. So basically, the next week, some reason the person that had never gotten that blood gas they got one on them, and they happened to be in the hallway talking, the nurse and that one of the other doctors, and said that the blood gas said that the patient's PO2 or oxygen level in the blood was 41, or and he told the nurse, the little young male nurse with the straight face, that, oh, I don't believe that. That must be a mixed venous. That must be, the test must have been done wrong. Okay, first of all, you are sticking a needle into an artery. When you stick a needle to an artery, you can tell the color of the blood. You can tell the pulsation of it. It pulsates. That's what arterial blood does. It pulses. It pulsates like your heartbeat. Okay, so it's pretty obvious if you're venous and you don't have it right. If you don't have it right, it's pretty obvious. And and like I told him, I chimed in because I had to, because the stuff was ridiculous. I said, "Oh, you don't think it's real?" He says, "Oh yeah, look at how he's looking. Look how he's talking. Look how alert he is. It can't be 41." He said, "That can't be right. We have to go by just how he's acting." I said, "Oh really?" I said, "Aren't you going to redo the test? That way you will really know if that's the right number." "Oh no, that's not necessary." So the man is so strong. This man is so strong that he is actually still able to function with less than half the normal of what he's used to receiving in his body. For how long is this man supposed to starve on the inside until his body parts start to die?
That's a daily occurrence that goes on everywhere in America with us.
Hmm. And inadvertently, you see a couple of Jewish people or a couple of middle Americans that may get thrown into this whole charade of what's going on. But by and large, it's the like I said, it's the people, the island people, the Latin people that are really taking the real blow of this. They're taking it. They're getting it. They're getting hit by this hard, and that's across the board. And so like just like with my friend, the white male nurse, he's like they're all black to us. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of black people here that are. I said, no, they're not black. They're they're black per se, but they're not what you're putting it into the bunch, like they're African American, so called. They're Negroes. They're not Negro Americans. They are actually, he knows that I use the term Indian. I said they're not Indians. They are Islanders, they're Latinos. I said that's not the same. I said because the media is making it seem like it's the Indians that are dying in large numbers, when in reality, everywhere you look, it's not really us. They look like us, but they aren't us.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I think I feel like I really feel like they with the flu shots or whatever they're using. I haven't figured out the mechanism of delivery of how they're giving this to people, but I feel like whatever mechanism they're doing is first of all it's a time thing. There's a time marker. There's a biomarker like a timer in it, so they know that when these outbreaks are going to occur. You know what I mean? And they know who got what where, what batch of whatever, and who got what where. So they know a little bit about what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Because of what they're putting out there in a flu shot or whatever they're doing. You know what I mean? Uh, so that's one thing. I think that's the main thing, because if you happen to go to your because when I got sick really 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 badly sick with the pneumonia last year, I got a flu shot at my local CVS. Usually I get it done at work, and typically if you're a healthcare worker, I don't think they would wisely try to kill you off when they need you to work. You know what I mean? So it's probably the best safest place to get a flu shot if you're going to get one and you're a healthcare worker is to get one at work. However, that last year, whatever, I got one at the daggone CVS, and I thought I was gonna die. I really did. I was sick for about 2 months, so I feel like I had COVID last year. That's what I feel like, and I feel like it's some kind of time because it didn't happen until like April, and I got the flu shot like in the fall, right? So it's like they have some kind of they know when this stuff's gonna they know by the batches. All these things have lot numbers. They are marked. Every needle, every flu shot has a lot number, a distinctive number on it. They know who gets which shot. Why? It's not because they're worried about you having a reaction. It's because there's different things in these lots, depending on where it's delivered, depending on where you get it.
Crickets.
That's it, babe. That's it. So uh, the man that had the low ABG, and then they put him on a little stronger device. We rechecked it. Oh, he even though he was feeling better, a nurse practitioner came in and told him that his lung X-ray did not look any better, and he got like friggin' demoralized. He was like, just I didn't realize how demoralized he was because I knew he was a little bit upset about it because he said that she had told him that, and he said he had been working so hard, proning and trying to use his instead of spirometer. He felt better. He was really upset, and so I showed him the X-ray and I showed him the differences in the X-ray and I showed him the improvements in the X-ray, but that didn't work. I mean, it didn't really make him feel any better until we got that blood jet gas. And then when he got that blood gas, that second one, that actually the fourth one, he saw it and we knew the number went from 58 to 78. I mean, he was so excited. I mean, he was like, "Yes." You know what I mean? But see, why wouldn't you use those kind of markers to help your patients if you're really trying to help your patients? You see what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Why
Exactly.
wouldn't you?
Exactly.
Even in the dude who really wasn't that bad off, just knowing and being able to show that he was better off changed his entire disposition. He started crying, this man did. He started crying.
Wow. Okay. Once again, what should so all people who are going to get checked out and blah blah blah, when you go to these doctors and you put your lives in their hands, this is the number one thing you should be asking.
Don't get a flu shot. You're right. You're right. And I wish I could say Kimmy Vet. Kimmy Vet is right. Do not get a flu shot because this is the thing about a flu shot. If it's really a vaccine, you would never need another one, right? Because vaccines are supposed to eliminate you getting the disease. If if that was the case, we'd all be crippled from polio. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Why are we? Vaccines are supposed to eliminate the need for you to get another vaccine or to get the disease.
Right.
You That's not a vaccine if you need it every year. They shouldn't even call it a vaccine. That's bullshit. But that's the kind of stuff that we just eat up. We just devour this stuff and don't even think about it. How is it a vaccine if you need it every year? It ain't helping shit. You're just putting chemicals into your body for no reason. And if you get the flu, guess what? They got Tamiflu. It'll fix it like that. Tamiflu is cheap and easily and readily available, and it fixes the flu like that. And they should be using it for this daggone pneumonia because it's an anti-fucking viral. But are they trying to use Tamiflu that's cheaply available? No. No.
So, I've often wondered why, where, when it comes to our health, are we just beholden to this medical system so much that, we go by what they say? We don't, because the stuff you're saying to me makes perfectly good sense about how your organs need oxygen. What's the oxygen level going to your liver? What's the oxygen level going to your spleen or whatever? And that's something that we don't even think about.
And now they have you wearing face masks.
Right.
And then they don't want you to have a face mask that has a vent that lets your carbon dioxide out. They want you to keep it in.
Huh?
Well, my friend who watches the news, my nurse friend, and he said that the CDC said that he can't wear the face mask he wears because he has a little vent on the side. And that vent on the side allows particles in air to come out. I said, that is some bullshit. Are you really believing? Yes, I believe the CDC, Lisa.
Are you? Oh no.
I said, damn. So anyway, can we live without all this bullshit? Yes, we can. Do we need Tamiflu? No, we don't. But in order for you to really actually combat a virus as bad as a pneumonia, you need some serious medicine. I'm not an idiot. Okay, pneumonia killed people back in the day when we were eating well and living well. Pneumonia is very deadly. It's not a joke, y'all. Okay, so I'm not going to sit there and lie to you and tell you that you can holistically fix it, because let me tell you, we don't have that down to a science either. Okay, the amount that you would need, the strength of the actual herbs, you need to have that down to a motherfucking science, because this is a very time sensitive thing. People without oxygen to their daggone body die. Okay, so you can't fuck around and say, I'm going to eat a daggone dandelion or daggone yarrow root, or you're going to eat some echinacea and push it away, because you don't know how much to get in your body. So I know everybody wants to say, yeah, I'm all holistic. Don't be fucking stupid about it. A lot of holistic people die. Okay. Don't be dumb. Okay. So there are some medicines which actually are made from herbs, by the way. So let's not be jerks in that. Aspirin is a damn bark. Okay, most drugs actually do come from plants. So stop being an asshole. Don't be a complete asshole. Okay, the fuckers. I do holistic. Shut the fuck up. I hate when people are stupid as shit. You know what I mean? Come on. You don't have that shit. Do you have that shit down to the molecules and the amounts and this and that? Do you know you can kill somebody? Do you know you do not know what you're fucking doing? You could kill somebody talking about your dad. I got my abs and shit. What the fuck? Do you know the doctor there going, what's it say, Seba? He killed people. You don't know that? Do your fucking research. I got a friend that knows somebody he killed who was a relative of hers. So don't talk to me about some bullshit like that. There's some medicines you need to fucking use, and you need to have common sense. Okay? Don't think you can figure out everything on your damn hip, because some things are too fast and too furious and too dangerous for you to be guessing your way through.
Okay. Now that you put it like that.
I'm just saying, I just get frustrated when people just try. I'm just, okay, yeah. It's almost like you're a religious zealot. Oh, Jesus is going to save me. Oh, my plant's going to save me. I love plants too, okay? But don't be an idiot. Don't be an idiot.
Yeah.
There are some good advancements. And for you to sit up there and say, oh, no, I'm going to take this leaky boat over here because, I'm gonna ride on this leaky raft, because that damn plane just this doesn't seem right to me. What? No. Use the technology. We invented the technology. Okay. Most of these labs, like my sister, she's a chemist. She invented a lot of compounds and stuff. Most of us are the people that are inventing this motherfucking shit. You just don't know that shit. Okay? So don't act like, oh, the white man. Don't do that shit either. Okay? Because if you know anything about us, we do every fucking thing. So stop being stupid like that. I ain't gonna take the white man stuff. Oh, motherfucker, we do everything. Okay? So what's the white man shit? Everything the white man does is ours. So stop that shit too. The fuck? I hate people being stupid. I want to use the white man stuff. The fuck?
Yeah, with this coronavirus thing going along, I see a whole bunch of us just bowing down to it. I mean, the mask cops are out in force. What is up with that?
People are so afraid, and they think that this is the saving graces, that we're wearing our motherfucking life defying super masks like they're fucking superhero capes. What the fuck is wrong with people? You know what? The best thing you can do is just use your common sense. Sick motherfuckers need to stay the fuck home. If you're coughing, if you got people in your family. See, this is what happened to this dude. The dude that I told you about who was crying and felt better and was getting better. His wife was coughing for weeks, but she didn't have a fever. Motherfucker, you don't understand that a lot of people, their normal temperature is way below normal. Like a lot of people live at 95 degrees or 96 degrees Fahrenheit. And so when you get a fever, it might be 98. And that's the fever for you.
Right.
So you can't go by your number, okay? Because you don't know. Your number is maybe a very cool normal, and your hot may be a very cool hot.
Right.
So that you can't go by that. Okay. So you have a fucking cough, you dummy. A cough is a means of transmission. That's what you need to look out for. Coughing, spitting, hacking, sneezing. Transmission of particles for real. Breathing, spitting from your mouth. That's not, your spittle from your mouth ain't got no, it's acidic. It breaks down your food. It ain't got daggone COVID thriving in there. But when you got something from the back of your daggone lungs and your throat, something that's cooking in there, that's what's gonna kill people. That shit. That's fucking making you cough and erupting in your damn chest and stuff. Come on now, have some sense. And watch out for the damn sick ass children. Sick ass children are like bubonic plagues. Them things, they run around, they give you the carriers of all kinds of heathenistic horrible germs. And then the funny thing about kids is they can bounce into sickness and they'll bounce right out of it real quick, God willing. You know what I mean? But damn, your ass will be laid up for days or months, or you might die. So watch out for them germy ass babies of yours. They're germy. But in a preventive sense, like when I started seeing some stuff, you gotta up your water. Make sure you're drinking good water, clean spring water, good water, filtered water, shungite water, lemon water. Drink your water, okay? Alkaline water, if you will. And then also, make sure you're up on your daggone berries, your elderberry. You're up on your vitamin C sources and vitamin C supplements. That's the thing that they're giving in the hospital. What are they giving to fix these people? Plasma and vitamins. That's what we're giving. We're giving vitamins, y'all, in the hospital. That's the drugs that we're giving. The remdesivir, yeah, we're giving that. But that's an antiviral, just like Tamiflu, which your own local doctor can give to you. You will be better off, even if you're short of breath, getting your own oxygen concentrator from daggone Amazon or something, and getting yourself some Tamiflu from your doctor, taking insane doses of vitamin C, and staying your butt away from the hospital. You'd be better off doing that for yourselves and for your loved ones. You can take echinacea. You can take daggone golden seal. You can take some daggone yarrow root. You can do that. That's fine. But I bet you better get you some Tamiflu too, because Tamiflu works, and you feel better in a few days. Tamiflu works, and ain't nobody talking about it. No one. It's an antiviral that is not even mentioned. Okay. You cannot want to do Tamiflu. Like I said, you can do yarrow root. You can do daggone golden seal echinacea. Paul. Paul. I wouldn't do Paul Diarco, but you could do Paul Diarco. I wouldn't do that.
I have
But
a
anyway.
question. What
Mhm.
about what about you have people who when you talk about Dr. Sebi, one of the things Dr. Sebi said that I found interesting was he said if you want to get rid of everything in the body, if you want to cleanse the body, just don't intake no food for 90 days. He said because what that'll do is cleanse out a lot of stuff you're putting in won't be getting in there no more, and your body will expel it. Have you seen any does that work, or is that a reality, or what? How does that work?
Well, as far as okay, so there's a lot of different thought. I've seen it all in both ways. I've seen it where we don't feed people and da da da, and then we do feed people and it's beneficial and but I feel like this. I feel like you should go with what your body seems to need and what your body seems to crave, and everybody's different. Now, I feel like for instance, starving my patients in the hospital where they're already deprived from human contact, human conversation, and light, and living and socialization. And if they can't have a bite of food, that's kind of fucked up. First of all, these damn nurses ain't feeding people anyway. So I mean, so what the world? Like, that's one thing that I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna walk past nobody's patient and they food sitting up there in a paper bag next to them because they too weak and too sick and they can't get to it. No, I'm gonna stop in my tracks and I'm gonna offer that old man or whoever, that old woman or whoever. I'm gonna feed their asses, and I don't care if I have to stand in a COVID room for fucking 3 hours. I'm gonna take care of folks. Okay. So no, I don't think depriving people or starving people of food is a way to cure your daggone illness necessarily. Sometimes the body needs the comfort and the nutrition of food. So no, I don't think that's it. And I think also you can't just say everybody's different. And I really feel like you really have to understand that every fucking body's different. And what is gonna work for me starving myself might be how I do better. I don't want no food. And if you really don't want no food, and it might make you feel better not to eat any food, then that you go with that. But there's somebody's gonna be like, yeah, I really would like a taste of some whatever. And that makes me feel better. Then that's what you should also do. You know what I mean? Everybody's different. You cannot just cast out like, oh, this is what you should do, blah, blah, blah. I don't trust nobody that does that. I think they're stupid. That just doesn't make any sense.
Well, Lisa, we're coming to the close of the hour. Could you leave us with one last thing with all this, the mainstream media and everything we're seeing across the whatever we watch, whatever form of media we consume?
I
Can
would
we,
I would urge you to try to keep your old people out of the hospital. If they're having trouble breathing, if they're whatever, I mean, do you want them to die in the hospital alone? The odds are, if they're over the age of 80 or something, they're not going to make it out of there. I'm just telling you. And that's what the doctors already say. They don't even try. Okay. They're not going to put them on a ventilator, even though a year ago, if they would have, and the patient might have, survived or whatever. But they're not going to do it now because they got the COVID excuse. Okay. Or it doesn't work for them in COVID. It's not worth the chance for COVID. We can't spare the bed. We can't spare the ventilator. We don't have enough ICU beds. The excuses are a mile long. Okay. So if your daggone daddy is 90 years old or 80 years old or something, and you want to see him again, I would take your fucking coins. I would hire myself a respiratory therapist to set up a damn CPAP machine and some oxygen at home. and get them some daggone vitamin C. You can maybe even get a hold of some IV vitamin C, but you definitely get him home some emergency or some damn good, chewable vitamin C, whatever. High doses. That means in the high thousands, not just 1,000, like 5,000 a couple of times a day. 3 times a day, 5,000 or more units of daggone vitamin C. 10,000. Same with vitamin D. Vitamin D, you need even more. You need D, you need like 10,000, several, like 3 times a day, 10 to 30,000 of vitamin D. Okay? High dose vitamin D, high dose C, good multivitamin B. Okay? Complex, B complex. You need all that. Get to elderberry juice, elderberry syrup, elderberry gummies, whatever. You can chew on them like it's candy. Okay? Get you some elderberry. Get you a plant, an elderberry tree. You want to be real holistic? Get you an elderberry tree. Juice your berries. Whatever your inclination, do it to that degree. Make yourself an elderberry smoothie. I don't do that. Okay? And you can and avail yourself of hospice. If you have an older person, rather than put them in a hospital where you won't be able to visit them, and that they may have some kind of, they have a COVID, they having trouble, you just better just say, look, let me just get my daggone daddy some hospice situation, put them on hospice, because that's all because you know what, I've been trying to get every patient I've been trying to get transferred out of the hospital on hospice, they died before they could do it. They died before they could do it. They saw no one. I FaceTime with their family, that's all they got. It is a devastation to have a patient sitting up there dancing with you in the bed while you're playing daggone Cuban music, and she being apologetic because she probably was a fuck bitch, a fuck racist daggone with like saying Cuban in her lifetime, trying to talk about you, my sister. She felt some kind of way because I was there for her, and she felt a little guilty probably because of her little racist inner racisms that she's had in her life. But to see her sitting up there dancing in the bed one day and then dead the next is a lot.
So listen.
Get you need to okay, the only thing, like, okay, let me say this. If you get somebody who is in the hospital system, right, the only thing you should do is let them, if they're already there, make sure they get their plasma, they get their recimavir, and remdesivir. Make sure they get their antiviral and their daggone plasma treatment. Okay, if they can get the convalescent plasma, then it may be worth their asses being in a hospital. But as soon as they get that shit, you better get them out of there as quick as fuck, because it's only gonna go downhill from there. Okay, if they get that, that's the best thing they can get out of the hospital system. But if they stay beyond that, all bets are off.
So if they stay beyond how long?
Stay beyond getting the daggone plasma. The only thing that's worth having by being in a hospital is by being able to get that plasma with the antibodies in it. You see what I'm saying? They're giving people the plasma that has the antibodies in it. You see. And it's helping people, of course, because it's from people who actually had the COVID infection and got better. And they have the antibodies to fight off the COVID in their plasma. So they give the people this plasma and it helps them. But once you get that, you better get the hell on.
Well, Lisa, I want to say thank you. We're running out of time. I really appreciate this information, and I'm sure the people in the chat appreciate it too. Get that blood check. What's that called?
It's called an arterial blood gas. Everybody should have it at least every other day if you're in the hospital. If you're in the hospital, you need to have that. You need to be getting vitamin C. You need to get vitamin D. You need to get your arterial blood gas checked every other day, and you need to be looking for what the PO2 is. What is your oxygen level in your blood, in your arterial blood? And it needs to be greater than 60. Normal is 100 to 83, but at least if you're in the 60 zone, you're 66 zone. If you're better than 66, you got a fighting chance.
Well, Lisa, thank you. And we definitely gotta have you back real soon.
All right, you guys have a good night. And
Okay.
like if you're home, like I said, take care of yourself, take care of each other, make sure you're getting all those good